Imagine her thoughts circling back to you over and over. She's busy, moving through her day, but your presence keeps returning to her mind. She can't explain it, and that's the power of strategy, not luck. Machiavelli understood this silent form of influence. There is one simple move that quietly takes hold of her thoughts. Use it the right way, and she will respect you, want you, and naturally move toward you. Today, I'll show you that move. Mastering invisible influence. Centuries ago, Machiavelli understood a truth that still applies today, not just in politics, but in human relationships and attraction. He realized that real power is not about being loud, demanding, or forceful. True influence works quietly, almost invisibly. It shapes what people think and feel without them realizing it. In The Prince, he repeatedly shows that the most effective rulers are the ones whose power feels natural and unavoidable to others. When we translate this to attraction, the lesson is clear. A woman is drawn to a man whose presence feels inevitable, someone whose attention and value are subtly inescapable. The key is perception. Machiavelli teaches that controlling how people perceive you is far more powerful than trying to control their actions directly. Applied to women, this becomes the art of being ungraspable and fascinating, someone her mind cannot ignore. You do not need to chase her, flatter her excessively, or explain yourself. You do not need obvious tricks or manipulative tactics. Instead, your goal is to quietly build the conditions that make her think about you, replay your presence in her mind, and feel a pull toward you she cannot fully explain. She will start to notice you without realizing why. Her fascination will grow naturally, as if it were inevitable. Think about what Machiavelli describes in his writings. He talks about rulers who gain loyalty and obedience not through force alone, but by creating situations where people feel their decisions, attention, and loyalty are natural. In attraction, the same principle applies. When a man uses subtle influence and strategic behavior, he makes a woman's attention and interest feel inevitable. She doesn't consciously decide to be drawn to you, it just happens. The right words, gestures, or timing can plant patterns in her mind that replay over and over, making her subconsciously tethered to you. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. You are not controlling her overtly, you are controlling her experience of you. Every glance, every carefully chosen word, and even deliberate absence can be used to leave a lasting impression in her mind. A small compliment at the right moment, a perfectly timed silence, a subtle display of confidence, all of these become invisible signals that shape how she thinks and feels about you. Machiavelli's insight is that influence is most potent when it is hidden. Similarly, attraction is strongest when it is felt but unseen. Modern psychology supports this idea. Research shows that humans are drawn to patterns that are partially predictable yet still contain an element of mystery. This creates what cognitive scientists call a mental loop. The mind keeps replaying the experience because it is unresolved. When you act with strategic timing, subtle gestures, and controlled presence, you create exactly this effect. Her brain begins to replay moments with you over and over. She begins to crave your attention, respect your composure, and desire your presence, all without consciously deciding to do so. It's important to note that this isn't about arrogance or manipulation for its own sake. Machiavelli's principle is about mastery. Mastery over timing, perception, and subtle psychological triggers. By using this approach, you don't force her attention. You design it. You don't demand her desire. You inspire it. She doesn't just notice you, she becomes mentally and emotionally drawn to you, replaying your presence in her mind, imagining interactions, and silently aligning her desires with your energy. Every interaction, every small choice, every moment of strategic absence contributes to this invisible influence. You are essentially constructing a mental architecture in her mind that she cannot resist entering. This is why one well-executed move, applied consistently, can make her think about you non-stop, respect you deeply, and desire you silently. Your influence becomes a constant in her mind. She feels pulled to you naturally, and the fascination grows without any force or effort on your part. In short, mastering invisible influence is about creating inevitability. You are not chasing, begging, or overexposing yourself. Instead, you are shaping her perception. planting subtle psychological seeds and guiding her mind toward fascination and respect. This is the essence of following Machiavelli in matters of attraction. You act in such a way that her attention becomes automatic. Her thoughts about you become habitual, and her desire grows silently but powerfully. When done correctly, you are no longer just a man she notices. You are a force she cannot stop thinking about, a presence that dominates her mind without her ever realizing it. Master this principle, and the result is simple, yet extraordinary. She will think about you constantly, respect you instinctively, and desire you silently, all because you understand the art of invisible Machiavellian influence. The hidden power of influence. Most men think attraction is all about looks, charm, or clever words, but the truth goes much deeper. Attraction is not just physical, it is mental, emotional, and philosophical. Humans are wired to notice what they cannot fully understand, what challenges their mind, and what sparks curiosity. Nietzsche, the philosopher of power and human nature, explained that the most magnetic people are those who rise above ordinary understanding. He described them as individuals who have mastery over themselves, carry a sense of mystery, and project quiet strength. When applied to attraction, this means that women are naturally drawn to men who show power without needing to boast, influence without forcing, and confidence without arrogance. This is the invisible architecture of desire, the force that keeps her mind returning to you again and again, even when you are not around. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca give us another important insight. They taught that true strength comes from self-control and calmness, not from reacting emotionally or trying too hard to impress. A man who stays composed in every situation, who does not panic or beg for attention, becomes fascinating without even trying. His calm presence signals competence, stability, and reliability, qualities that women notice subconsciously and admire without even realizing it. This quiet mastery makes him stand out from ordinary men who are needy, reactive, or desperate for validation. Now imagine combining these two ideas: Nietzsche's magnetic, mysterious power with stoic calm and emotional control. When you do this, you create a psychological pull that is extremely strong. Machiavelli, centuries before modern psychology, called this the art of shaping how others perceive you. The secret is subtlety. Influence is never forced or shouted, it is felt without her noticing. Desire is not pushed, it is gently orchestrated. When you combine mystery, calm control, and strategic presence, her mind begins to replay memories of you. Imagine scenarios with you and think about you constantly, all without you doing anything obvious. Modern psychology supports this. People are naturally drawn to situations that are uncertain but valuable, a principle known as the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains cannot stop thinking about experiences that feel incomplete or unresolved. By projecting calm mastery, controlled presence, and subtle mystery, you trigger this effect in her mind. She will remember you while doing daily tasks, during quiet moments, and even when she is not aware. This creates a mental pull she cannot resist, making her focus on you automatically. In the end, this is the exact kind of move Machiavelli would have approved. It is not about manipulation, games, or forcing her to like you. It is about invisible influence, strategic perception, and subtle control. A woman who senses a man who is calm, confident, and slightly untouchable will admire him instinctively, desire him unconsciously, and think about him repeatedly, all without realizing why. This is the combination of philosophy, psychology, and Machiavellian strategy that turns a man into someone unforgettable, irresistible, and impossible to ignore. How the mind becomes obsessed. The human mind is naturally drawn to things that are rare, unexpected, or meaningful. Psychologists call this attentional importance. Our brains automatically focus on anything that seems valuable or different. When it comes to attraction, this explains why some men stay on a woman's mind effortlessly. It's not about being everywhere or trying too hard. The key is creating small, memorable moments that leave a lasting impression she can't forget. People tend to replay unfinished experiences in their minds. If something is partly mysterious, slightly unpredictable, or emotionally stirring, the brain keeps thinking about it, trying to make sense of it. This is called cognitive looping, and it's why a single well-timed action can make her mind repeatedly return to you. When you do something subtle but meaningful, she can't stop thinking about it, or about you. Science also explains why this happens in the brain. When we experience something new and emotionally important, the dopamine system activates. Dopamine is the chemical of pleasure and reward. It makes her feel good at the moment and strengthens the memory in her mind. This means she remembers you more clearly, associates you with a positive feeling, and unconsciously seeks to experience your presence again. You are programming her mind to think of you as a source of reward, without ever trying to force it. Social psychology adds another layer. Humans are naturally drawn to competence and confidence. When you show calm control, emotional stability, or clever insight, you create a sense of authority. She may not consciously think about it, but she feels it deep down. This feeling triggers admiration, respect, and a natural tendency to think about you more than others. Your subtle influence becomes invisible, yet extremely powerful. This is exactly what Machiavelli described as silent influence centuries ago. It's not about tricking her or manipulating her, it's about making your presence irresistible, planting ideas in her mind without her realizing it. One precise strategic move can make her think of you constantly, feel drawn to you, and admire you subconsciously. In short, this one move works because it combines mental focus on what is rare, unresolved experiences, dopamine-driven reward, and the sense of authority. Together, these create a mental pull she cannot resist. This isn't luck, magic, or charm. It's the perfect mix of psychology, science, and Machiavellian strategy. When used correctly, it ensures a woman will think about you, respect you, and desire you, without ever understanding why. How to make her think about you constantly. What is the secret move that can make a woman think about you all the time, respect you instinctively, and feel drawn to you without any obvious effort on your part? At its heart, it's about quiet control and emotional impact. Machiavelli would recognize this as subtle power, one that works silently yet changes the way she perceives you forever. It is not about showing off, forcing attention, or being loud. Instead, it's about creating mental impressions she can't forget, turning your presence into fascination and your absence into desire. 1. Strategic absence. True influence is not constant presence. It comes from knowing when to step back. You don't need to reply instantly, follow every message, or always be available. Instead, become rare and unpredictable. This absence creates a natural tension in her mind. She starts noticing the moments when you're not around, and her brain unconsciously fills in the gaps, thinking about you more and more. Science calls this anticipatory attention. The mind naturally focuses on things that are valuable yet missing. By controlling how and when she experiences you, you transform yourself into someone mysterious she can't stop thinking about. 2. Memorable impact. When you do show up, make it count. Every interaction should leave a lasting impression, whether it's through a meaningful word, a subtle glance, a confident gesture, or a small action that demonstrates value. Psychology shows that humans remember events that trigger emotion, curiosity, or surprise more vividly. Each of these moments creates a mental mark in her mind, replaying over and over. This is how you move from being noticed to becoming unforgettable. 3. Mastering perception. Machiavelli's classic principle applies perfectly here. Perception is everything. She may not consciously analyze why she is drawn to you, but she feels it. Every pause, glance, or subtle gesture adds to the mental pattern you are creating. The more carefully you plan your actions, the stronger her subconscious pull toward you becomes. Fascination, admiration, and desire begin to happen naturally because her mind prioritizes you without her even realizing it. 4. The loop of desire. When you combine absence with meaningful impact, you create a silent cycle that continuously strengthens her thoughts about you. Absence increases value, your presence creates emotional attachment, and repeated cycles ingrain you into her subconscious. Neuroscience confirms this. Repeated emotionally significant events strengthen neural connections, making thoughts about you involuntary and persistent. This is what Machiavelli meant by the invisible art of influence. A power so subtle that she doesn't notice it, yet so strong that she can't resist it. In simple terms, this move is not about chasing or convincing. It's about designing desire, shaping respect, and planting mental fascination. When done correctly, she will think about you endlessly, want you silently, and admire you deeply, all without realizing that she is being drawn in by your subtle influence. This is the Machiavellian way to make your presence unforgettable and your absence irresistible. The invisible architecture of attraction. Attraction is not about chasing, impressing, or forcing someone to like you. It is about building an invisible structure in her mind that naturally draws her attention, fascination, and respect toward you. Every small action you take, every glance, gesture, or carefully timed absence becomes a piece of this structure. Over time, she begins to think about you often, desire you subtly, and admire you deeply without even realizing why. You are not pushing her toward you, you are designing the mental environment that pulls her in naturally. Machiavelli called this indirect power. True influence, he said, is never shouted or forced. It is felt. It is the ability to shape outcomes while appearing calm and unconcerned. Applied to attraction, this means that women can become drawn to you without seeing any effort. Your presence, your behavior, and the patterns you create in her mind silently guide her thoughts. She may never consciously notice it, but her mind begins to replay your words, remember your gestures, and imagine your presence again and again. This is the art of influence in its purest form, subtle, invisible, and irresistible. Nietzsche described a similar idea through the concept of enigmatic mastery, the power of a person who cannot be fully understood, who rises above ordinary predictability. When you combine calm confidence, subtle authority, and a sense of mystery, you create this magnetic pull. She becomes curious, and her curiosity grows into fixation. Admiration becomes silent obsession, and the more unpredictable yet stable you are, the stronger this pull becomes. Science confirms this effect. Neuroscience shows that our brains remember events that are emotionally charged, novel, or unpredictable far more than ordinary experiences. Each time you create a meaningful interaction or a subtle moment of impact, followed by deliberate absence, her mind records it deeply. Psychology calls this cognitive reinforcement. Her brain keeps coming back to the experiences you created, unconsciously seeking more. You are planting mental seeds that grow into consistent attention, fascination, and desire. Stoicism adds another layer to this strategy. A man who remains composed, emotionally steady, and detached communicates value and strength without saying a word. She senses your control over yourself and the situation, and that calm authority increases your perceived worth. Emotional restraint signals that you are not desperate or dependent, which makes your presence more captivating. Every measured response, every deliberate silence, every controlled gesture reinforces the invisible framework you are constructing in her mind. In short, you are creating a mental map she cannot resist. You are not chasing her, you are guiding her thoughts. You are not begging for attention, you are embedding yourself into her mind. You are not showing off, you are shaping desire. Every action, every absence, every subtle impression strengthens this structure, making her think about you repeatedly, desire you naturally, and respect you instinctively. By combining Machiavellian strategy, Nietzschean magnetism, Stoic composure, and modern neuroscience, you transform simple presence into a powerful psychological force. She doesn't just notice you sometimes, she thinks about you constantly. She doesn't just admire you occasionally, she respects you instinctively. She doesn't just feel desire momentarily, she becomes mentally connected to your influence, all without realizing why. This is the invisible architecture of attraction, the secret that makes the title true. Woman will be yours if you do this. Pay close attention, because most men will never understand this. What we are talking about isn't about tricks, manipulation, or cheap tactics. It goes much deeper. It's about strategic presence, the kind that quietly shapes her thoughts without her even knowing. It's about silent influence, a type of power that works behind the scenes but still pulls her toward you. It's about subtle control over perception, making her see you as rare, valuable, and unforgettable without saying a single word to convince her. When you master this, she won't chase you because you begged or tried to impress her. She won't admire you for money, looks, or charm alone. She will think about you constantly because her mind naturally gravitates toward you. Every small action you take, every glance, every moment of absence followed by impact, every subtle signal, builds a force she cannot resist. Your presence becomes something she craves, and your absence makes her replay memories of you over and over. This is exactly what Machiavelli meant centuries ago. True influence is invisible, silent, and undeniable. People respond more to perception than force. In attraction, the same rules apply. You're not forcing desire, you're creating a mental environment where desire happens on its own. You plant tiny seeds of fascination that grow into admiration, respect, and obsession. Here's the truth. A woman will think about you, desire you, and respect you if you understand this principle and use it correctly. It's not luck or charm, it's strategy, timing, and control. When you act with calm confidence, deliberate absence, and impactful presence, you don't just attract her, you become unforgettable, irresistible, and deeply embedded in her thoughts. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not, it's about improving yourself, projecting quiet strength, and influencing subtly. Machiavelli would approve because it works without conflict, without pressure, and without her realizing she is being drawn in. Master this, and she won't just notice you, she will think about you constantly, crave your presence, and respect you completely. That is real power, and very few men ever learn it. Now you do. If you're ready to unlock the Machiavellian secrets of attraction, comment below with "I'm ready" and share which part of this method surprised you the most or opened your eyes to something new. Every strategy in this video is designed to give you quiet power, subtle control, and influence over the mind, tools most men will never understand. By using these steps, you can make her think about you constantly, desire you silently, and respect you deeply, all without chasing, forcing, or begging. Don't just watch and forget, take action. Hit subscribe for more forbidden psychology, dark influence techniques, and hidden strategies that show you how to attract, dominate, and shape minds with precision. This is your opportunity to gain insights most men will never discover, and to step into a rare level of attraction, respect, and unseen power that only a few ever master.